Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
To be very honest, he is not likely to rise very high in his career, no matter what promises he makes. He's not someone who loves learning new things or chasing big dreams, and he isn't the type to push himself hard at work. If he talks about big plans, it's mostly just talk, not real action.
Can he bounce back from failure?
He doesn't usually break down or make a scene when things go wrong at work. Instead, he will quietly pull away and keep his feelings inside. Expect him to retreat into his shell, maybe working alone and avoiding difficult conversations.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work probably see him as quiet and distant, not someone who easily makes friends or gets close to others. He doesn't usually start fights or loud arguments, but you'll notice he isn't very warm or polite either. If having a partner who is friendly and well liked is important to you, you may not find that in him.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he is unlikely to openly celebrate or feel proud of your success. He might not show much emotion at all, but deep down, he could feel uncomfortable or even threatened by your achievements. He probably won't make a fuss or argue, but don't expect genuine excitement or support.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he is likely to feel insecure deep inside. Even if he doesn't say anything out loud, he may not start fights or complain openly, but you could notice him becoming more distant or withdrawn. While he won't make a big scene, your success could hurt his confidence, making him pull away emotionally.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He handles money carefully and sticks to a set routine with his spending. You won't see him buying things on impulse or wasting money carelessly. If stability matters to you, his careful nature can make you feel secure.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and doesn't try to act richer than he actually is. You won't find him showing off with fancy clothes, gadgets, or big expenses just to impress others. Instead, he prefers simple routine comforts and avoids unnecessary risks.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He tends to be quite tight with money and isn't naturally open handed or generous. Helping others or treating loved ones isn't something that comes easily to him, and he might struggle to share or step in when someone needs support. You may sometimes wish for more kindness, softness, or little gestures that show he cares.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is not very talkative or open when it comes to money and can be quite private about what he earns or spends. While he is careful and organized with his finances, he may not want to discuss details or include you in decisions. This can feel a bit controlling at times as he prefers to keep things in his own hands rather than share openly.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that housework should be handled in an orderly way, but he may expect you to do most of it. He's not very enthusiastic about pitching in or being caring, so you may find him sticking to his own routines while letting you handle the daily chores. He prefers things neat and organized, but might see keeping the house clean as your responsibility rather than a shared job.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
You may find that he prefers to supervise rather than actually roll up his sleeves and help with chores or diapers. He likes things to be done in a certain way and may point out what needs to be fixed or organized, but often expects you to do the work yourself. He isn't quick to offer gentle support or pitch in during messy moments. He's more comfortable standing at a distance, giving advice instead of hands on help.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is not likely to try very hard to understand your side. Instead of having open talks or showing kindness, he may quietly stick to what he believes and not budge. There's not much warmth or gentle listening, so you may feel like you're talking to a wall.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he is not the type to shout, use hurtful words, or act aggressive. Instead, he quietly withdraws and keeps his feelings bottled up. He may become distant or give you the silent treatment, but he won't lash out or lose control.
Does he have a bad temper?
He does not get angry very quickly. His temper is slow to rise, and you won't see sudden outbursts or dramatic reactions from him. Instead, when he's upset, he tends to keep it inside, withdraw, or go quiet rather than explode.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry or take responsibility when things go wrong. Most of the time, he'll go quiet or avoid talking about the issue altogether rather than admit his mistake. If you want a partner who owns up to his actions and works together to improve, this could leave you feeling frustrated and alone.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to respect your boundaries, especially if you make them clear and direct. He may not be warm or understanding about your feelings, but he isn't someone who pushes or argues when you say no. He prefers staying away from conflict and won't force you into things you're uncomfortable with.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He usually does not take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of making you feel guilty or starting an argument, he is more likely to stay quiet and keep his feelings to himself. He won't push or get upset, but he also won't ask how you're feeling or try to bridge the emotional gap.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to keep private moments safe and not use them to hurt or embarrass you later. He's not the type to gossip or share personal things just to get back at you. If you ever argue, he is more likely to go silent than bring up private matters to shame or annoy you.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily drawn to other women. He tends to keep to himself and isn't very enthusiastic about making new connections or looking for excitement outside the relationship. You won't need to worry much about him flirting, straying, or seeking attention from others.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not likely to be over possessive or controlling. He isn't the type to get jealous easily, question your every move, or try to control who you talk to or where you go. You won't find him acting suspicious or keeping a close watch over you.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
This is not a man whose protective nature hides a controlling side. In fact, he is not very protective or hands on in relationships, and he prefers to keep a comfortable distance rather than manage or control your life. If anything, you might notice that he steps back too much and leaves you to handle things on your own.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the parenting work. While he values routines and keeping things in order, he isn't naturally supportive or eager to share the emotional or daily responsibilities of raising children. You may find him sticking to his own tasks or offering advice from a distance, but not really rolling up his sleeves alongside you.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He isn't the type to shout or become angry quickly. He'll most likely stay quiet and reserved, keeping his feelings inside. While he won't scare them with loud outbursts, they might wish he showed more understanding or tried to help them feel better after a tough moment.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to actively support or encourage you in your role as both a mother and your own person. He tends to keep his distance from emotional matters and may not notice or appreciate your efforts at home or outside. Instead, you may feel like you're on your own to manage everything, with very little encouragement or recognition.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might quietly expect you to step back from your career once a child comes, even if he seems okay with it now. He often sticks to traditional routines and may not speak up directly, but his actions might show that he believes caring for the home and kids is mainly your job. After having a child, you may notice subtle signs like less encouragement for your work, or he quietly assumes you'll handle everything at home.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is likely to just act polite on the surface with your parents rather than show real warmth or deep care. He may follow basic manners and keep things formal, but don't expect friendly chats or genuine efforts to build a close bond. The bond will stay safe and respectful, but probably not as close as you'd hope. He is not the kind who will try hard to adjust to your family.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it by staying quiet and keeping to himself, not by making things worse. He isn't likely to argue, shout, or start drama. Instead, he'll pull away from the problem and avoid getting involved. While this means there won't be loud fights or public scenes, you may feel like you're handling the stress alone without real help or support from him.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might act modern with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives. Even if he seems fine with your choices or independence at home, he is likely to follow family routines and social expectations when others are watching. If you value consistency and being yourself at all times, you might find this double standard difficult and tiring over time.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than support you or stand up for you. He prefers avoiding conflict and usually doesn't get involved in emotional matters even when it concerns his own family versus you. You might end up feeling left out or unsupported, especially when you really need him to be by your side.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is not the classic mummy's boy who runs to his mother for everything, but that doesn't mean he will choose your side in a conflict with her. Most likely, he will avoid taking sides altogether. He'll become silent, step back, and hope the issue passes on its own. You may not see him stand up for you, nor will he openly fight for his mother. Instead, he just wants to keep the peace by staying out of it.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He naturally keeps things to himself and doesn't feel comfortable opening up about personal matters even within his own family. If you value privacy and wish to keep issues between just the two of you, you won't need to worry about him breaking that trust.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Day in and day out, being with this man may feel quiet, predictable, and orderly, but also pretty lonely at times. The house will run smoothly and routines will be kept, but emotional connection and warmth might be missing.